What is up, Mets fans? Welcome back to another exclusive interview on the Mets'd podcast. As you can see, sitting with us, we got Kodai Senga, pitcher for the Mets. First time double guest as a player on the podcast, so thank you for coming out and spending time with us. We appreciate it. So you've now spent a bunch of time in New York, been playing really well. How do you feel the season's been going for you?
ニューヨークで、今シーズン過ごしてみて、いかがですか？
本当にシーズン半分は遠征で半分ニューヨークですけど、バタバタの1年間過ごしてるなと思います。
Obviously, we're on the road half the time, so we're not able to enjoy New York as much, but it's definitely been a busy year.
When we talked to you back when you signed with the team in the winter, you were very confident, and you talked about how excited you were to pitch. And you've exceeded all the expectations everyone's had for you and then some. Where did that confidence come from, and what have you attributed your success as a rookie to?
契約された際にお話をさせていただいたときに、アメリカで投げる、メジャーで投げる自信だとか楽しみだとかという感情を伺って、自信というかはいかがですか？
本当に、自分のピッチング、自分がやりたいように、マウンドで表現できれば戦っていけるっていうところがすごい、分かりましたし、とにかくどういうふうに戦っていけばいいのかがすごい分かった1年間だなと思います。
I think this year it's highlighted if I can pitch the way that I want to, I can get these hitters out, and it's just been trying to figure out what I need to do to get to that point. So it's been a really big learning experience for me this year.
Since the month of May, you've been exceptional. Was there any adjustment or something that clicked that made you take that next step forward?
5月からさらに、レベルが上がったように見えたんですけども、その最初の2ヶ月と後半につれて何か変わったところはありますか？
マウンドで、まずやっぱり今日はどうかなっていう不安みたいなのがなくなったのが一個、やっぱりちゃんと戦っていけるっていうのをマウンドで、準備することに慣れていったのがすごい大きいかなと思います。
I think the preparation part, being confident, and I felt ready to be on the mound towards the, May on. I felt more confident being on the mound, and I felt well prepared, so I think that was a big part.
We've noticed that you've thrown many more cutters as the season's gone on, especially in the last 2 months or so. What made that adjustment happen, and then how do you feel about the results the pitch has gotten so far?
ここ2ヶ月ほどカットの数が多くなっているように見えるんですけども、カットの使い方とかやっぱり有効的だと思います。
バッターに、バッターのデータだったり状況に応じて違うんですけど、すごい自分の中で、使い勝手のいい球になっているのは間違いないんで、まっすぐが減りすぎないようには気をつけようかなと思ってますけど、キャッチャーが、ある日だったりなる日だったりどっちかによるんですけど、すごい、自分の中で自信にある球になったかなというふうに思います。
It really depends on each hitter and each situation, but this year it's been a really useful pitch for me, a pitch that's worked really well. It depends on who's catching it as well, but they like to call it, and it's been a big confidence boost to have that pitch. But at the same time, I know that I've been using it a lot, so I need to make sure I'm not using the fastball a lot less, but keeping a good balance of the pitches.
Speaking of pitching, obviously got to talk about the Ghost Fork. It's the nastiest pitch in baseball. It lives up to all the hype from the preseason when we signed you. Has anybody reached out to try to learn how to throw that pitch?
球種といえばお化けフォークでシーズン前からすごく騒がれていて、それ以上の結果が出ていると思うんですけれども、他の選手から教えてくれなどっていう声はありますか？
教えてくれという選手、そうですね、ちょいちょいいるかなと思いますし、やっぱり俺にはやっぱスプリット挟むっていうことに対しての抵抗感ある選手もまだいるのかなというふうには思ってます。
Yeah, here and there some players would come up to me and ask me how to throw it, but I think at the same time a lot of players are still a little hesitant on the idea of gripping the ball differently and putting it in between their fingers. So some differences, but
All this great play got you to the AllStar game earlier this summer. What was that experience like, being surrounded by some of the best players in Major League Baseball?
素晴らしいピッチングを経てオールスターチームに選出されて、その場はいかがでしたか？
いや本当に日本で見ていた時ようなスーパースターを近くで、メッツでも見ていたんですけど、またさらに他のチームのスターも見れてすごい、来年は 大会とかじゃなくて本当メインで選ばれて、投げれるような選手になりたいなっていうふうにすごい思えるいい経験になりました。
It was a great experience for me. I know that I'm surrounded by a bunch of superstars on the Mets, but being with superstars on other teams that I've watched ever since I was in Japan, it was a really cool experience. And moving forward, I would like to be a player that gets picked on the first ballot and be able to pitch in the game at some point too.
Now that you've had a few months under your belt with the baseball season, Major League Baseball, what would you say the biggest difference is between the game here and in Japan?
日本の NPB の野球と MLB の野球の違いは何だと思います？
先発ピッチャーが投げる試合、投げない試合でもベンチにいたりチームに関わるっていうのがすごい新鮮だなっていうのが僕の一番の違いかなと思います。
The biggest difference so far has been in Japan, the starting pitcher that doesn't pitch that day, they're not allowed to be in the dugout. While it's here, we're obviously in the dugout, we're cheering for the team, so it's a big difference and a big adjustment so far.
Is that something you like more, being more engaged with your teammates on a daily basis, or was the other way, do you think, better?
どちらの方が良かったと思いますか？
体的には帰れたりするのもたまに帰りたいなと思う時もあるんですけど、やっぱ気持ち的に常にチームと関わってて、その気持ちが切れにくいのはベンチに入る方かなと思いました。
Physically, if I get to go home and rest, obviously it's a little bit easier, but on the mental side, being engaged with the team and being there at all times, it really puts me in the game, really invested in the team. So I think they're both good in their own ways.
You've become an instant fan favorite. Did you ever think when you first signed that it would be that quickly?
もうすでに千賀選手はもうファンの中でも大人気選手になっていて、契約される時にこのような感じになると思ってました。
いや、やっぱり僕はもっとすごいピッチャーたちもいましたし、そんなに目立つ方ではないのかなと思ってたんですけども、すごいメッツの人もそうだし、ファンの人もすごい盛り上がって温かく見てくれますし、本当にやりやすい環境で野球やれたのはすごいプラスだったと思います。
Initially, with so many other superstars and so many other great pitchers on the team, I didn't think I would get this kind of attention. I thought I'd be kind of in the shadows, but the team was very welcoming, the fans were very welcoming, and I think that atmosphere and environment really helped shape this career so far.
Between the AllStar game, the team, or teams you've faced when you've been on the road, have you been starstruck by any players that you've met in the major leagues?
オールスターでお会いした選手だったり、対戦した相手のチームだったり、メッツの選手だったりはすごいなっていうふうに、スターだなっていうふうに思った選手はいました。
いや、もうほぼみんなだけどな。ほぼみんなよね。
Like everybody.
Taking it off the field now, just like you said, you're spending half the season away from New York, but how's it been living in New York City?
ニューヨークでの暮らしはいかがですか？
暮らしでの本当に家と球場の往復しかほぼしてないですけど、でも本当に車がめちゃくちゃ多いなっていう印象です。
Obviously, even when in New York, I only go from my home back to the stadium, back home to the stadium. So the initial thought is there are so many cars here.
Take it off the field a little further. Last time we talked, you said you were a big fan of anime and manga. What would you say would be your 4 favorite anime shows of all time?
契約の際に漫画やアニメの話を
全部分かった
時にトップ4を教えてください。
そんなんなすごいたくさんあるからな、今日中にまとめきれないかもしれないな。
There are so many that are circling through my mind right now. I don't know if we could wrap this up within today.
I saw on your Twitter you made a post about a specific anime, Ace of the Diamond, I believe, and you posted a story but couldn't really get the full details of it. Could you maybe share what was going on?
ツイッターで拝見したんですけども、ダイヤのエースを上げてらっしゃって、それを少し説明してください。
高校生が野球に強い高校に行って野球を打ち込むのに何が必要でどういう気持ちで野球に取り組めなきゃいけないかっていうのを、僕が中学高校ぐらいから一緒に読み始めて、その漫画内容も僕も年も同じぐらいだったので、本当に一緒に読んできた。僕の成長もそうだし、漫画も一緒の背景で読んできたかなって感じ。
It's a manga about a baseball player, a kid going into high school, a really strong baseball high school, and learning what they need to do to develop and get stronger and get better. And it actually came out when I was in middle school, high school, so around the same time, and I've been reading it ever since, so it's something close to my heart.
We found a story that when that show was very popular when you were in middle school, high school, that you would hit a batter and then you had said a quote about the show out loud, like in the game. Is that true? And if it is, can you embellish on that story maybe a little bit?
試合で千賀投手が、中学校か高校生の時にデッドボールを当てて漫画の名言を言ったというふうな話を聞いたんですけれども、
いや、まあ、名言っていうか、まあ、漫画の中で相手に当てた時になんかなんていうんだろうね、すいませんみたいなのをちょっとなんかふざけた言い方みたいなのをする場面があって、僕も別に言おうとか決めてたじゃなくて無意識にそれが出るぐらい読んでたって感じ。
It's just a little excerpt of the show where they hit a hitter and instead of saying oh, I'm sorry, they just kind of they make it a little joking in a joking way, and I hit a hitter and I didn't plan it out or anything, but I accidentally hit somebody and that just kind of came out of me, and that's how much I read it and that's how much I love the show.
I remember the last time we spoke, you said One Piece was one of your favorite anime, and there's a live action version coming out on Netflix. Do you know about this? Are you excited for it?
ワンピースがすごくお好きと伺っていて、ネットフリックスで実写版が出るというふうになっているんですけど、知っていましたか？
あ、その情報は知ってますけど、まあ、僕はアニメっていうかとにかく漫画をずっと読んでるので、なんか映像で見るっていうのがあんまりないかなって感じ。
I did know about that, but actually I read it through the manga, through the books, more than watching it on anime. So seeing it as a visual is very new to me. So I don't know much about the Netflix show, but it's exciting.
We've worn a lot of really cool gloves this year, a lot of customized cool gloves, especially the one that had the ghost fork on it a few months ago. What's inspired you to have so many different kind of gloves in your first year in the league?
グラブのデザインがすごく特徴的で面白くてかっこいいんですけども、どのようなインスピレーションでこのグラブができたんですか？
本当に僕も全然そういうのを作ってほしいとかは何も言ってなくて、本当担当者がアメリカで流行ればいいなっていう形でそのメーカーの人がその作ってデザインしてくれたやつです。
It's not something I actually requested or asked for, but the glove companies that the guy there thought it'd be a fun way to brand it a little bit, and they made the gloves for me, and it stuck on, so it's cool.
When you're not playing baseball and you're at home relaxing, what do you like to do to kind of just unwind and spend your free time doing?
球場にいないとき、ご自宅にいらっしゃるときにリラックスするときはどういうことをされてますか？
漫画読むぐらいかな。
Reading manga.
Kind of had a guess.
Last question, Kodai, thank you. We want to ask Hiro a few questions before we get out of here, really quick. First of all, Hiro, how's it been having this job this year and like having this inclusion like a professional baseball team?
Yeah, it's not my first year, so it's not entirely new to me, but being with a great organization, the Mets, great, being with such a superstar player, sitting next to me and superstars all around me, it's super cool.
Kodai, how's he been?
今の返事は良かったんじゃないかって。
僕がどうですか？今年今までどうですか？
いやもうすごいめちゃくちゃサポートしてくれますし、本当に自分一人じゃなくてやっぱりヒロが一緒にやってくれるからこそうまくいってる部分も絶対あると思う。
He's been very supportive. We were talking about
っていうのを自分で言うの。
He's been very supportive, and I think the success of this year is partly due to him as well.
Oh, that's really nice. Well, Kodai, thank you so much. Don't want to take up any more of your time, but appreciate you coming out and talking to us, and keep on crushing it.
頑張ってください。
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.